Doug Kyed here at Gillette Stadium with Zach Cox. We're a couple days removed here from the Patriots' second preseason game. Now they're already ramping up for the Lions, which is on Friday night. But let's talk more about that Texans preseason game the Patriots just played in Houston. What was your biggest takeaway from that game overall?
Well, my biggest takeaway, I think, was Rex Burkhead's performance, which you'll get to in just a second.
Yeah.
But to me, another thing that I guess was encouraging from a Patriots standpoint was Kony Ealy. He, as everybody knows, the Patriots have had a lot of injuries, a lot of real attrition on this defensive end spot. Kony Ealy, who we were kind of down on earlier in camp, he wasn't really that impressive early on in training camp, going into those first joint practices. But from everything we heard, he had a pretty good week down there in West Virginia with the Texans. In the actual preseason game, I wouldn't say he was a superstar. He didn't really stand out too much to me, but he wasn't a liability. He looked like a solid player. He looks like we maybe have kind of overblown some of the issues that we thought he might have had in the past. It looks like he can be at the very least a solid contributor for this team.
Yeah, and I mean, with the injuries that they have there at defensive end, with the fact that Rob Ninkovich retired, certainly has a better chance now of making the team than he did at the beginning of summer. I thought the pass rush overall was better in that game. Adam Butler, Harvey Longy, those guys got after the quarterback a couple times, but Rex Burkhead, like you said, probably the #1 performer in that game. It was really the Rex Burkhead show when he was on the field. 10 touches in 13 snaps, and I think that Mike Gillislee kind of has to be, I don't know if it's even looking over his shoulder at this point, maybe looking next to him at Rex Burkhead, because Gillislee is sitting out with a hamstring injury. So I think that him and Burkhead are kind of neck and neck for that starting running back role right now. I think once they signed Gillislee, we all kind of thought that Burkhead probably wouldn't have as big of a role on offense, but he really showed on Saturday that looked like a potential starting running back out there. So he'll do it. I think we've put the Texans game behind us. We're on to Detroit. Patriots playing the Lions on Friday night. All-important third preseason game where many of the starters might play for the full half.